So this video that I'm doing is mostly, it's a continuation on what I've been talking about, which is the change that my wife and made on essentially selling everything and moving. And the underlying theme of this video, and really this whole little mini series that I'm doing, is courage, and how circumstances, situations, whenever the Lord calls you to make a big change in your life, can really be frightening and scary and feel like a leap of faith more than anything. When you put your faith and trust in God and you make that true leap of faith, it's a faithful leap. Hey, I've got everything lined up. I think we're good. I think it's going to be good. It's time to make that leap and just put our faith in God and hope that it works out. When you do that, it will work out. It will be okay. And that's I didn't do the best job of explaining that in my last video. I kind of made it sound like, the last one that I did, I kind of made it sound more selfish in a way, more self-serving, like, hey, if you want to do it, go and do it. You need to make sure you're in the grace and will of God to do something like that before you do it. But if you're truly called, for me, one of the things I've got sort of a checklist to know if God is calling me to do something. And for me, it's one, does this go against anything in the Bible? God will never call you to do something that is explicitly forbidden or discouraged in the Bible. He won't do it. It'll never happen. Two, for me, I give it time and I pray that God will slam the door shut. I pray like, Lord, this is what I want to do. This is what I think I'm going to do. This is what I think is right. This is what I think I'm called to do. This is what I think we're called to do. If not, slam the door shut. That is my prayer whenever my wife and I have a big decision to make or something going on. And as I discussed previously in my previous video, my wife and I were living in a more suburban city environment that we long-term didn't want to be in. And we wanted to move to a more small-town, rural setting where my family's from, where it's quieter, where we can just call home for the rest of our lives. And the big thing for me that I look around and I see going on all the time that I just do not like at all is I do not want to be that parent that retires and moves away from their kids. Because when you want to be somewhere, when you're like, this is where I want to retire, I want to die in this place, this is where I want to be, but I've got a really good job right now, I've got a really good situation right now, I don't want to upset the apple cart, I'll just retire and move down there. Well, the problem with that is most people, by the time you retire, your kids are, in their 20s, maybe their 30s, they've got their own careers, they've got their own lives. They are now planted where you are trying and have intended to leave for a long time. So most of the time, you have no choice but in order to fulfill that dream of yours, you have no choice but to move away from your kids. And that's a situation and something that I see in this culture all the time that I do not and did not want for my kids. I did not want to have to do that to my kids. And, we see that all the time with, on the West Coast, where do people retire, move on the West Coast? They move to Arizona and retire. East Coast, where do people retire and move on the East Coast? They move to Florida and retire. And all their kids and family are still where they left. And that is just not something that was even an acceptable condition to me. I want to be where I am now at. And if I want to be here, I want my kids to be here. And I want my kids to be raised here. And I want this to be what my kids know. My kids are young enough that they weren't born here, but they're so little that this will still be all that they know. And I have now lived, including here, I've lived I've lived in 3 areas or settings or, areas in the country. And everywhere where I've lived, I have met and been surrounded by people who long-term didn't want to be where they were at. They were there because they were born there. They were there by some situation. They were there because work got them there. And they're like, yeah, I'm here. I'm making a living. I have a good job, whatever. But I don't like it here. This is where I want to be. And my preach or my call has always been, as I've led in my life now twice, my wife and I have done this twice now, is if you are not where you want to be, get your affairs in order, get your house straightened up, and move. Do the thing that you want to do. And I'm using the setting of location, living where you want to live, because that is such a prominent thing. But I mean, this applies to everything in life. If you aren't working a job you want to work, go get your ducks in a row and take the steps you need to take in order to get to where you want to be long term. People in our society and culture are way too content with unhappiness. And that is something that we have got to change. And I don't know if it's just the way I am or if it's stubbornness in me I don't know. But when I decide that I want to do something, I do it. I make it happen. It doesn't happen quickly. It doesn't happen the way I thought it would happen. But at the end of the day, once all is said and done, it's done. Oh, I want to live in this place, but I have to stay here because I have a good job. You are not working the only good job in the world. You are not working the only good job there's good jobs everywhere. There's okay jobs everywhere. There's jobs that are good enough to get you to where you want to be. And that's all it takes to move, to get to where you want to be, is have that faith, get your house ready to sell or get your things in order and go to where you want to be and apply for a job, apply for multiple jobs, go and interview, secure the job, take your family and move. It's going to be hard. It's going to be stressful, but it's the only way you'll do it. And let me tell you something. If you think that you're going to retire and your family and your kids are going to come with you, they're not. They've got their own lives at that point. That's why you really have to do this when your kids are still at home, which sucks because it's a lot easier to do it when you're retired and you've got your pension, your 401k, your Social Security. That'll follow you wherever you go. That's the easy way. The sooner the better. Get it done. Do what you want to do. Get right with the Lord. Pray about it. Make sure that that is His plan for you and your family. And load up the U-Haul and go. And that goes for anybody and any industry, anywhere. You might have to change industries. Got to get creative. If you really want this, you got to get creative to make it happen. I am living where I want to live. I'm living where I have longed to live for years, for a long time. And someday I will retire. And when I retire, I will be where I want to be. I won't have to move anywhere when I retire. When I retire, my kids will already be here. My kids will already be around me. And yeah, they might move away for sure. That could totally happen and does happen all the time. But if and when they decide to move back, they're just coming home at that point. They're not moving to where their parents moved. They're just coming home. It's like 100 degrees in this car. I'm boiling up. Having no shop is rough. I got kids running around screaming in the house, so this is the best place for me to do my videos now. Proverbs 3:5, a classic, a famous one. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. The Lord will make something happen if that's his plan for you. You have got to let go of the wheel. You've got to turn over control to the Lord. Turn over the control of your life to the Lord. If you are doing what is comfortable, there's a good chance that you are not in submission to the Lord. The Lord doesn't always want you to be comfortable. Comfort is one of the worst things that can ever happen to you. Take the leap of faith and do it. You only live once. It will be okay, and it will work out. Thank you for watching, and God bless.